Hi, it's Piers from PS Glasgow. It's end of the first term at Glasgow Uni, so I think it would be a good opportunity to do a quick Q&A video, let you know a bit more about myself and experiences at university. Here with me today is my girlfriend Peppy. Say hello.
Hi.
And we're currently in Edinburgh in a hotel room, so that's why this scenery looks a bit better than my usual dorm room.
Dorm room? That's so
Dorm room.
American.
Dorm
Well,
room.
he's not American, let me just clear that up.
Okay,
Should we get straight into
let's get straight into the video.
First of all, I know you haven't talked about this much on your channel, or even at all. So, for all those people wondering out there, what do you actually study?
Okay. So Glasgow Uni requires you to take 3 subjects. So I would say I major in business management, and then I got 2 secondary units or subjects of politics, and I do Spanish language as well.
What subject did you actually apply for?
Yeah, so I applied to do business and management.
But why do you
So,
do politics and Spanish now?
I chose Spanish because I'm very interested in learning about the language. Pepe's actually got some family who are Spanish, so it'd be interesting to actually be able to communicate with them fluently without somebody sitting there translating between English and Spanish. And politics I chose just because it was one of the subjects that fitted in with my timetable.
You're not meant to say that, all you're meant to say is...
Yeah, it fitted in, and it's supposed to be quite a good course at Glasgow.
I think what he actually means is that he chose politics because he thought that the political sort of environment in the UK and in Europe is really interesting at the moment. Okay, so on to my second question. What's been the best thing about studying at Glasgow?
One of the aspects I enjoy about Glasgow University is the diversity within the students. There's always people from lots of different unis studying abroad at Glasgow.
And obviously as a mature student, I know you haven't, again, talked about this much on your channel so far, but as a mature student, would you say it's been easier or more difficult to fit in?
I'm part of the Mature Student Association, so that brings quite a lot of early friendships and gave a basis of meeting people. I would say I'm pretty easygoing. I don't really have any difficulties maybe talking to 18, 19-year-olds.
Because you're basically one yourself, obviously. I am allowed to say that, that's the truth. It's actually the truth. Literally.
No,
I'm not even going to go into it, but yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy the occasional night out or going down to the pub after lectures during the day.
So you talk about the pub and you talk about partying, but have those been your highlights? Have those been your highlights of studying at Glasgow so far, or the social life at Glasgow? What's been your highlights?
Okay, so definitely the Hive is a night out that every student should take.
And do you have any favourite places?
Close to uni is Bank Street Bar. GUU, Glasgow University Union, has, as I mentioned, a Hive nightclub, which Thursday nights, pretty much all first years that you meet you'll meet there at one night out during the year. There's also lots of cafes around Glasgow which are interesting to hang out, maybe do some work at.
And what's a typical day like in the life of a student?
Right.
So what time do you want to wake up? Are you an early riser?
On my timetable, I don't really need to get up before 10 o'clock. I only have one tutorial on a Friday morning at 9 o'clock, which means I would have to wake up around 8. It takes me about 10 minutes to walk into uni, so I don't need to allow that much time to get to class.
Again, this is going back to the fact that you're a mature student, because obviously I think that's a really important part of your study. But as a mature student, what's been the hardest adjustment?
So maybe the hardest adjustment is basically leaving the life I had built and then moving up to the other side of the country. It's kind of difficult moving away from all that.
So talking more generally about like, living in Glasgow, have you been surprised by anything whilst living there?
I live in the west end of Glasgow, which is near the uni. A very nice area, quiet. There's nice people. There's not that much trouble. So nothing's really that surprising. If anything, the thing that surprised me was how nice people were in Glasgow. It doesn't appear that rough at all.
No, it doesn't. It seems quite safe.
It's safe and people are generally nice to you and haven't really had any trouble at all.
I mean, I come from London. I think like Glasgow's quite safe and like quite a place like where you're not like, scared to walk down the road. Not that in London you are, but in London there's like definitely like more no-go areas. There's definitely that feeling that like people are gonna come up and like swipe your phone.
Yeah, but in any
you're walking or something like that.
In any major city in the whole of the world, you have to be careful. All cities have dodgy areas or
obviously
stuff that would put you at risk.
I mean, obviously, like that is an obvious topic, but then you come from like a really small city and go comparison to London, and now you're living in a major city like Glasgow. So, what for you? What are like the biggest differences between has it been a hard adjustment to make, like living in a bigger city, and or like what are the benefits of living in a bigger city?
Well, bigger cities, I would say, are more. They are more 24/7. You can normally get stuff done, especially on Sundays. In smaller cities, a lot of stuff closes down on Sunday. It's easier to get stuff done in bigger cities. Just one of the major surprising factors, which I forgot about, is Scotland's alcohol licensing issues. You can't actually buy alcohol from a supermarket or off license after, say, 11 o'clock, which is tricky if you're having house parties or pre-drinks and you forget to buy booze before that.
Which is
like, having quite
obviously like a really big problem as a student, or a big like concern rather.
Yeah, you have to be organised with alcohol buying in Scotland.
Okay, moving on. So in terms of food and things, is Glaswegian food really different, or like are the prices really different, like in comparison to like the southern?
I would say generally food prices are lower. Scottish produce doesn't tend to be that much different from produce in the rest of England. Even if it's, say, Scottish salmon is only a couple pence cheaper up here than what you would find in London or the southern parts. Apparently it's just standard salmon pricing.
Well, it's a good thing because you actually really like a lot of salmon, so
yeah.
It's not bad. Every little helps, obviously.
I tend to try to eat more regional produce because it's fresher, better quality, and seems to be more reasonable priced.
And so, as like a sort of like round up of like this part of this conversation, what would you say to people thinking about coming to Glasgow? Like, I know you really done one term, but what would you actually think about? Like, what would you say to them? Like, if they were thinking about coming to Glasgow, or even Scotland as a whole?
I would say, come visit. Make sure you come visit the uni. That's a big thing. Make sure you like the city. It's not only about a university that offers your course, and you think the facilities are really cool. You have to live here. Most of your time is spent outside of university. You'll be exploring the area where you live, and you'll be going down to the park, finding a cafe to study in, because you can't spend all your time in the library or your halls because you just get bored and you want to go out, get some fresh air or see some people whilst you're doing some reading